Okay, so I was sitting here for about a couple minutes trying to think of a different name that Ironsider could have gone with. I think Chessmaster is a bit played out for this sort of boss fight, and I just was kind of trying to think of reasons not to just give up and call him Ironsides, apparently. Ironsider kind of feels a bit lame. I guess Board Gamaroo just doesn't roll off the tongue as well as that original name, so I just gave up. Ironsider is a weird boss fight because it feels like a combination of a bunch of Zelda bosses, and it doesn't really feel like it belongs in Wario's universe. Even though it is still a solid idea, it's still a pretty good boss fight, and it's really weirding me out that Treasure is waiting until the end of the game to actually give us its better ideas. I suppose with the added challenge increase, they might have decided to go with more unique gameplay ideas, since they could kind of screw around the player a bit more and ask them to do a bit more stuff. But you can have that sort of thing with the first boss mentality. You just have to design it well. So if that was the idea, Treasure, and it probably wasn't, then it kind of backfired on you. The main thing, and another problem with Ironsider is that he's supposed to be, a legitimate statue, a possessed thing, that's moving of its own accord that we have to fight, but I don't know what the Ironsider is supposed to be a statue of. From the first impression, I would guess that he's supposed to be a lion with its mouth hanging open, but that doesn't seem to be correct either because it doesn't really have that much of a head to work with, so I really can't see the whole lion thing. The ally statues that it has come along for the ride are definitely fists or claws, so I can definitely see that, but Ironsider himself was not crafted very well by the person who originally designed him. And therefore it becomes indiscriminate, and therefore it becomes unremarkable, because why would you stare at Ironsider long enough to figure out what he is if you couldn't tell from the first couple of stares? The gameplay is what really works in Ironsider's favor here, because the thing that you have to do is that you have to stun the fist statues that he has coming along, and then use that as ammunition to actually damage Ironsider. It turns the gameplay into a chaotic mess that really works well and gets players slightly on the edge of their seats, and just shows them an incredible spectacle that seems to be the only substance that this game has going for it. And it sort of works in the boss fight's favor because even though it's visually confusing, just seeing constant explosions and having all these things attacking you simultaneously and having to balance everything happening at once definitely makes it borderline exciting just because of the amount of visual noise that it produces. More often than not will not hurt Wario, but considering the amount that he has going at him all at the same time means that he's definitely going to get damaged by something in that pile of nonsense. It's just not going to be everything in the pile. Plus, you really just have to be looking out for what Ironsider does, because one of his main attacks is AoE shockwaves, and you're trying to jump around and beat on one of the fist statues, and then jump around again to get close enough to Ironsider to throw it at his nondescript face. Ironsider doesn't really have any defense, so if you get a good throw, you're definitely going to get the damage, which makes this boss fight a lot shorter than other ones just because there isn't any bullshit defenses between Wario and actually getting the damage done. It's just a lot of damage that can really wreck your shit. But the counterbalance to that is, again, the game's continue mechanic, where as long as you have enough money, you can just keep rebuying your life back. So there really isn't any point to the boss killing you because money is easy to get and it can buy you continues, so what's even the point of being challenging at all? I guess at that point you get to just enjoy the spectacle because you're immortal, so you don't have to worry about getting damaged. It's kind of an odd way that the game's failures are managing to prop each other up to actually be pros in the game's favor. Is that a thing that we've ever actually seen before? I suppose maybe in some cases if I actually thought about it a little bit. But anyway, Ironsider's boss fight is a chaotic mess that really works in the game's favor. is not challenging in the typical sense of the word, because you don't have to worry about actually taking damage, because at this point, you can probably buy yourself 8 continues and not even have to worry about anything, so... You know, just enjoy yourself, sit back, relax, and just watch the explosions happen in a ridiculously protracted cycle.